I want to talk about what we call the measures of central tendency. Now, if we just think about that phrase, central tendency, right? The tendency of the frequency distribution towards the center. What is the center all about? And then what are our measures of it? Generally, we have three measures of central tendency. And you have probably heard of these before, right? There is the mode, which we have already discussed as the most frequent response. There is also the median, and then there is the mean. Now, the median is the response that, if we were to take all of these, right? So the mode is fairly simple, right? It's the most, right? So the median, or the mode here is 3, right? We got most responses are 3. Or most people said 3 in their responses, right? And so the mode is useful for that, for just knowing like what were the most responses. Most people answered 3. That's the mode. The median is what we would get if we lined up everybody's answers in order, right? And so if we did that, it would be like the first, if we started high to low, right? It would be 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, right? So 5 people answered 5, 10 people answered 4, so 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And so we do 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4 out 10 times, and then 3 out 20 times, right? And so 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, dot, 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 20 times, and then 2, 10 times, and then 1, just 5 times, right? So we put those all in order, and then we added them all up, right? And so how many people is this? This is 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And so across 50 people, if we got to answer number 25, is like someplace in here, right? This is the 25th person, and this is the 26th person. Right? So that's the exact middle answer if we put these all in order, right? And what we know from this is that the 25th person answered 3 and the 26th person answered 3. So the median in this case is also 3. What we need to understand about the median is it basically, the best way to interpret it is 50% of the answers are above the median and 50% of the answers are below the median. So 50% of the people answered 3 or higher, 50% of the people answered 3 or lower. That's what the median tells us. The mode tells us something different. It tells us that most people answered 3. The median tells us that half the people answered 3 or higher, half the people answered 3 or lower, or 50%. The mean, the arithmetic mean, is just the average, right? So if I added up everybody's responses here, and multiplied them out, and just added all these up, so 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4, all divided by 50 people. So the sum of x divided by n gives me the mean. If I did all that, what I would find is also 3. So in this case, the mode, the median, and the mean were all 3. That doesn't always happen. That's why we have these different measures of central tendency. So let's look at an example when it doesn't happen, right? So in this case, I'll put it here, mode, that says mode was 3, the median was 3, and the mean was 3. Well, let's say I had a different frequency distribution. And it changes just a little bit in this way. So again, I have the levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this time when I look at the number of responses, I got 5, 20, 10, 10, 5. If I were to draw this out, right, again, this is my histogram, so along the bottom here I have each of my bins, each of my possible responses. And then on the y-axis, I just have the frequency of those responses. How many people gave each of those possible responses, right? And 1, I had 5 people answer 1. We had 20 people answer 2. We had 10 people answer 3. We had 10 people answer 4. And we had 5 people answer 5. Okay, so this obviously is a different shape than this previous histogram. And so if we look at that frequency distribution, we see it's a little bit different. For instance, we can see that it appears to be positively skewed, right? Remember that skew is about the symmetry of the curve. This is not a symmetric shape in the way this one is. This one appears to have no skew. This one appears to have a positive skew, which is to say it has a longer tail out in the positive direction, or as numbers get greater. So that's the first thing we can see, that the kurtosis looks about the same as the previous one. And if we look at this though, now let's look at these measures of central tendency. The mode, remember this is what most people responded. Well, here the mode is actually 2. Most people said 2, not 3. 20 people said 2, only 10 people said 3. If we look at the median for this, and I'm not going to do it all out, but if we ordered all of the numbers from 10 answers of 5, 10 answers of 4, 20 answers of 2, 5 answers of 1, what we would see is that the median in this case is also 2, as it turns out. So 50% of the people answered 2 or greater, 50% of the people answered 2 or less. And then the mean, though, is a little bit different. The mean in this case is 2.78. It's actually a little bit less, and that's reflected in this skew. When the mean is less than the median, when the median is less than the mean, and the mean is a little bit higher, that indicates that positive skew. So when these numbers are not the same, that tells us that there is a symmetry problem here. Now, problem is a strong word. I wouldn't say this is a problem, but it's certainly something to be aware of, that this is not perfectly symmetric. In this case, the mean is a little bit greater than the median, which tells us that we have that positive skew. And what's important is, because it's not perfectly symmetric, the median and the mean are 2 different numbers in this case. Now, the mode is the same as the median in this case, just by happenstance of the way that worked out. But again, these are the measures of central tendency: the mode, the mean, the mode, the median, and the mean. So we're going to explore, in my next video, we're going to explore a little bit about why we would use one measure of central tendency over the other, but we need to first understand what they are. The mode is the most frequent response. What did most people say? The median is the 50th percentile response. So what is half, if we put them in order of responses and response values, the 50th number, or the 50th percentile number. So half the numbers, 50% of the numbers are above it, 50% are below it. And then the mean is just the arithmetic average.